Hey all, John has asked me to join you today to discuss something called nonviolent communication. The idea that we're approaching today is maybe kind of a cleaner and more effective way for us to deal with conflict resolution here at school. And personally, once I've learned this model, it's something I use in my personal life all the time. So we're kind of just looking at a simple, methodical, formulated way for us to handle conflict resolution inside of our work walls here, just to keep us all on the same playing field and working together as a team. So, to kind of back up, this is all under the guise of health and wellness for ourselves. And so, I have this slide here for you just to examine why social emotional learning for school leaders and teachers. Well, a lot of science has gone into this, and what studies have proven is that uh, large leadership social emotional health directly impacts teachers' social emotional health, which we know impacts our students' social emotional health. And we've known for a long time that that has a direct impact on both academic progress as well as our day to day behavioral choices. So it really is imperative that we as a system are functioning in the most healthy manner possible. And communication is a big piece of that. We may be digging in, I may be popping back in and giving you some other tools just for personal regulation while here at school. But today, we're going to be utilizing the idea of communication as that mechanism. So I want to talk to you a little bit about the stress feedback loop. What I mean by the stress feedback loop is that this is just moving into that elevated, dysregulated state. So we have triggers. We all have triggers, and it can be something as simple as you get a late start on your day. And so for the rest of the day, you just feel rushed. Or it could be something larger where there is, maybe something at home that is staying stuck on you through the day that is always in the back of your mind that is not allowing you to be fully present while at work. And then, even more than that, we can just specifically speaking of communication, think about triggers as being there is a conflict with one of my coworkers that I know I need to handle, but I'm just not feeling empowered to go and have that hard conversation. And when we have those things kind of looming in our experience, we get that elevated, dysregulated space in our nervous system. And so that just feels like a rise in heart rate, a rise in breath rate, blood pressure, and muscle tension. This can lead to all kinds of health issues. This is not a healthy place to stay. And yet, very frequently, we can kind of stay in this loop where it just kind of is a self-fulfilling prophecy, and we stay in this elevated state rather than utilizing some kind of tool to bring us back down to regulation and that clear problem solving thinking brain. So we're going to be looking for some kind of pattern interrupt here for that stress feedback loop. Presence and gratitude practices can easily be used here. You can use breathing techniques. Today, we're going to be using more of a presence practice as far as communication. So let's say that trigger coming in really is, oh, I have this hard conversation. I have this hard thing. I don't know how to approach it. This, rather than staying in that ick and that elevated state, we can utilize these tools I'm about to give you today to kind of work as that pattern interrupt to stop that loop from continuing. So here's where we're going to start. We're going to start, this is nonviolent communication. This is kind of, if you see that little blue link down at the bottom, that's cnvc.org, the Center for Nonviolent Communication. It's beautiful. It has a lot of free resources that are available to you. But this program, this idea is actually quite simple. It's just 4 steps. The first one is you're going to make an observation. You're simply going to identify a challenging situation that you'd like to work through with a person that you care about. It's that basic. It's that easy. Step 2 is to identify the feelings that you're having about this. You're just going to name the emotions. Step 3, you will identify a need and you will share that with this person. Sometimes it's more of a value than an active need, but we name it and we put it in the space and we hand it to this person in a verbal way. And then step 4 is to make a request, a realistic, doable appeal for these people. And so it looks a little bit like this. So we're just going to go real simple and real fast here. So step 1, you state the facts of what happened in one sentence without judgment or generalizations. When you showed up to our meeting 5 minutes late and you left 5 minutes early and you seemed, unavailable as you were on your computer through our meeting. And then we move to a feeling. I felt disregarded. I felt ignored. I felt disconnected. Okay, those could all be feelings. Because of my need for being heard, because I value connection, whatever it is that you identify there, then you make your request. Would you be willing to put the computer away during our meeting or stick to an arrival and completion time that we've agreed to in our norms? Now, the thing to consider here is that this is a great way for us to come in. It's coming without judgment. It's just stating what happened. It's saying, this is the feeling that I'm having about this. These are my needs. This is why I'm feeling the way that I'm feeling. And then making a simple, doable request. Now, we have to do this knowing that the other person has full agency to respond in whatever they wish, right? But if we're all working in this way, then the beauty of it is the response follows all of that. So you're noticing that this would be a healthy response. So you're noticing that I came in late to our meeting 5 minutes. I stayed on my computer. I was distracted while I was with you, and I left early and we didn't really get to complete. I hear that you're feeling disconnected and disregarded by me. I know that you have a need for connection and a need for being heard and understood. So yes, I will absolutely next time arrive on time. And if not, I will definitely let you know, and I will put my computer away while we continue our meeting. That would be a very healthy, aware thing to bring back to us. But even if this person comes to us and says, dude, like, I'm doing the best I can, and they snap at you and they whatever, at least you have communicated exactly what is true for you. And so you can let it go, you can put it away, and that's really kind of where we leave this. And so anyhow, this is just a very simple thing. If we are all aware of this and we are all using these tools, then we can use that format. It goes both ways, right? We can use it as the request, and we can also use it as the response piece. Now, something else, and you can find this on that website that I linked earlier, cnvc.org. These are inventories. So those first two are feelings inventories. The one with the green heading are feelings that we have when we're satisfied with things. Like there's affectionate and all kinds of sub feelings under that, or excited sub feelings under that, peaceful sub feelings under that. In the red, we have feelings that we have when our needs are not satisfied. So things like afraid with sub feelings, or disconnected with sub feelings, or tense. And then so we can utilize these feelings as we're preparing to have these conversations so that we can speak as clearly and specifically as possible so that we can try to get our needs met. And so in this needs inventory, we have several categories of needs here: physical well-being with subcategories, play with subcategories, autonomy with subcategories. You can utilize these to kind of boost that vocabulary and ensure that you are in fact getting your needs met. And so just kind of wanted to offer this to you today. I hope you find it helpful. And I will just hand this back to John. And maybe next time we can talk a little bit about some other ways we can continue staying regulated so that we can all be cool, calm, and connected here in our workplace. Thanks all.